Right. So from today starts the mathematics part of the chapter. Enough of understanding we have spent a lot of time on understanding. So from today starts your basics of equations of motion, and those will be used intensively in even class 11. So in order to understand what is going to happen in class 11, so please ask me questions today. Okay, ask me questions, because otherwise fasoge aap. Chalo, let's start. Okay, let's quickly have a look at all the characters that we have seen, each one being given one color, and all of them are like faces or Peppa Pig characters. Susie sheep, this fellow is known as S. Can you tell me what does S stand for?
Speed.
No. This is what you learned?
Displacement.
Yes, displacement. Displacement. Speed is bye-bye. I told you there will be no speed in our story. There's no speed. Okay, next, Rebecca Rabbit. Okay, this fellow is known as U. Who is he or she?
Initial velocity.
Initial.
Velocity.
The way to remember is U comes before V, so U is initial, and V comes later, so final. Okay, so this fellow is known as initial velocity. Okay, very good. Then comes Danny Dog, right? Like this. V. What does V stands for?
Final velocity.
Final velocity. Now, if these two are there, then their friend Peppa should also be there, who is acceleration, right? Acceleration. Who is acceleration? If you have acceleration, only then you will have two different velocities. And the constant character, George Pig, and that's T, time. Anyone has any confusion? These are our 5 characters who will hover over us in this chapter, even in the next chapter, right? Ready? Okay. I told you that I missed something, not missed, I have not taught you something which is known as average velocity. Average velocity, right? Average speed was total distance traveled by total time taken. Now you're going to learn a formula in grade 9, and this formula is valid, although the book doesn't tell about it, only when the acceleration is uniform. And what did I tell you? Class 9 is all about uniform acceleration. That's why they don't mention the line. Acceleration is uniform. Uniform means acceleration is constant. I mean, you won't have 2 values of acceleration throughout class 9. That's why you have only, look at this. You have only 1A. You can't have 2 values. However, you have 2 velocities. You have 2 velocities. See? 2 velocities. And why do you have 2 velocities? Because you have A. A means there has to be 2 velocity, right? Okay. What was A? A was change in velocity over change in time, delta V by delta T. Okay, right, fine. Average velocity, this formula is there in grade 9, and it stands only when you have acceleration is constant. It's given by initial velocity plus final velocity, very simple formula, divided by 2. Initial velocity plus final velocity divided by 2, just the way you do average for anything. Okay, what is average? Average is, so average of 2 data is what? Sum of the 2 data is divided by 2, so it's average velocity. So mathematically, average velocity is denoted by V bar. So V bar is said to be U plus V divided by 2. Okay, there are problems which come on the basis of this formula also, but when you go to grade 11, you won't see the applicability of this formula every time, because acceleration need not be constant every time. Only when acceleration is constant, this formula is valid. Okay, fine. Acceleration is equal to, average velocity is equal to U bar plus V bar is equal to U plus V divided by 2. Fine. We'll do some problems on it later on, don't worry. Ready? So what we are going to do today now is we're going to deduce all our Suvat equations. We're going to deduce our Suvat equations. And these equations are known as, in CBSE, equation of motion. No, equation of uniformly Never ever miss those words. Uniformly accelerated motion. Accelerated motion in a straight line. Right? In a straight line. Right. There are three equations that we have to deduce. So we're going to deduce the first equation now. And these deductions do come in your exams. And they will give you the deduction of the second equation, because that is the one which is neither too easy nor too tough. So the second one comes a lot in exams. Okay. At least in your unit test, it will come. Right. Let's go. Ready? The first equation. Let's see what is the first equation. The first equation comes from the definition of acceleration. So let's define acceleration. Acceleration is given as change in velocity over time taken. Over time taken. So change in velocity will always be final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time taken is time. Time taken and time can be said as same. It's the time taken by time. Now let's put the denotions. Acceleration A is equal to V. Okay, try and write so that there's no confusion. Try and write V like this. V minus U divided by T. So from here you get AT equals to V minus U, or if you rearrange it, then V becomes equals to U plus AT. V becomes equals to U plus AT. Okay, this is your first equation of motion. First equation of motion, which says that the final velocity will always be your initial velocity plus how much your velocity changed over time. Just try to imagine this equation in your common sense. Like say, suppose I have Vivan who starts with the initial velocity of 5, but his velocity doesn't remain constant. Otherwise, his final velocity should have also been 5. He then accelerates, his speed increases with respect to time. So what will be his final velocity? His final velocity will be with what he started plus the rate of increase. Say suppose Vivan, let us put a common sense on it. Vivan ran for 5 seconds, right? Vivan ran for 5 seconds. Every second, his speed is increasing by 1. Every second, we'll first do just on our own. Let's take Vivan out here, okay? Let's take Vivan. See, you need not memorize everything. Try to put it in your thought process. This is Vivan. Vivan starts with the initial velocity U, which is equal to, okay, Vivan starts with the initial velocity. He starts with the initial velocity U. Let's say he starts with a velocity of 5 meters per second, right? Now he has two choices. Either he goes at constant velocity. This is one. In that case, his V will also be equal to 5 meters per second, right? And he traveled for say 10 seconds, right? So his final velocity will be 5. Do you understand the story? He started with 5, he ends at 5. Then you would like to calculate what is the acceleration of Vivan. Vivan's acceleration would be V minus U by T. His velocity never changed. So Vivan's acceleration is 0. He has no acceleration in this case. With whatever he started, he's going. This was option number 1. Option 2, let us give Vivan an acceleration. Okay. Let's say Vivan is accelerating at 1 meter per second square, which means every second, his speed is changing by 1 meter per second. Let's now just without using the formula try and see whether we'll land up in the right place or not. This is the first second. This is second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th. He started with how much? His U was equal to 5 meters per second. Tell me at the first second, what should be his speed? He's accelerating at 1 meter per second. At the first second, what should be his speed?
1 meter.
No. He is
And then
accelerating 1 meter. 5 is what Zoe he started. But his
So it should be 10.
no. After 1 second. Look at this, what I have written.
5 meters per second.
Yeah, every second he now increases by 1 meter per second. What did he start with?
6. We saw
Six.
6 5 6.
Yes. So it is 6 meters per second. Second,
7.
7.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. He ends up at 15 meters per second at the end of 10 seconds. Are you understanding? So he's like a sprinter whose speed has now increased. He's quite fast. Let us check it by this formula. Our formula is V is equal to U plus AT, right? What is his U? Sir, his U is 5 meters per second. What is his acceleration? 1 meter per second square. How many seconds he ran? 10 seconds. So just to do it, seconds took off the square. That means his final velocity is 5 meter per second. And from here you get another 10 meters per second, 15 meters per second. That's it. Every 1 second, the boy is accelerating his speed with 1 meters per second. So did you understand how to find out? Okay, let's like put a very interesting example. Let's say you are born not with 0 months. You are born with some age, arbitrary. I am born 10 years old. I am born 10 years old. Thereafter, every year, what is my aging? 1 year.
Yeah.
1 year I age every 365 days. So you just find out after 5 years, what should be my age? 5 years means every year I'm growing 1 year old. So for 5 years, I grew 5 years old. And add what with which I was born, 10, 15 years. Sorry, 10 years in this case. 5 plus 5. Did you understand or not? समझ में आएगी नहीं? I see vague faces. I mean, I still believe that there is some understanding issue. Children, don't take it zabardasti. If there is an understanding issue, you let me know. Did you understand this example? I am born with 10 years. Imagine, I am born 10 years old. Thereafter, my aging is 1 year every year. I was born in 2023. In the year 2028, what should be my age? Sir, in the year 2028, 5 years have elapsed since you were born, and you age 1 year every year. So for 5 years, you aged 5, and you were born 10 years old, right? Add them both, 15. Okay? So this is your first equation of motion. Okay, this is known as the first equation. What you will find most interesting here is that every equation will have one parameter missing. This is first equation. Can you tell me out of the SUVAT parameters, which is missing out here? Something is missing here. One of the SUVAT parameter is not there. SUVAT, you just think SUVAT.
Displacement.
Displacement is missing. Very good, Zoe. Displacement is missing. SU is not there. S is not there. The next one we will go, we'll find another one parameter missing. Every equation will have one parameter missing. Yes, Neha madam has joined.
Good evening, sir.
No issues. Good evening. So what we did, Neha, we just started our story. We have introduced the 5 friends of Peppa Pig out here: displacement, initial velocity, final velocity, acceleration, and time. We gave introduction to one more formula of average velocity, and this formula is used a lot in grade 9. But remember, this formula holds true. This holds true only if acceleration is uniform or constant, and in grade 9, you will always have A is constant. Therefore, this formula is a grade 9 formula, which is initial plus final velocity by 2, denoted by the word V bar. V bar is equal to U by V by 2, U plus V by 2. Then we started our journey to SUVAT equations, and we started to derive the first SUVAT equation. And it starts from the definition of acceleration, which is change in velocity by time. Sorry, let me mark it for you, which is acceleration stands change in velocity by time, final minus initial by time. So I put the denotions A equal to V minus U by T, AT is equal to V, and rearranging, I get V is equal to U plus AT. And we gave an example that we have a fellow Vivan out here. So Vivan starts with the initial velocity of 5 meters per second. And one choice was that he travels for 10 seconds or he runs for 10 seconds at constant velocity. Then at the end of 10 seconds also, his velocity will be 5. What is his acceleration? 0. V and U are same, right? So his acceleration is 0. On the second choice, what we did, we gave him an acceleration of 1 meter per second square. Means for every second, V1 is speeding by 1. So he started with 5 meters per second. At the end of the first second, he was 6, then 7, 8, 9, 10, 15. And then we saw whether we can calculate it by the formula. Initial velocity of V1 was 5. Acceleration was 1 meter per second square into 10 seconds. Second square, second and square cancel each other. So 5 meter per second plus 10 meter, 15 meters per second.
Okay.
Okay. Now we go to the second equation of motion, right? Chalo. And in every equation of motion, one of the Suvat parameters will be missing. And Zoe just said that the Suvat parameter missing in the first equation is displacement. Let's go to the second equation, right? The second equation, this is the most common one which comes in exam. So observe its derivation. It comes from the formula of average velocity. What is average velocity? Average velocity is u plus v divided by 2. We just did this in today's class. Okay. Displacement. Okay. In grade 6 and all, how have you read distance? What is distance formula in grade 6, grade 6, grade 7? What is distance equal to?
Speed into time.
Speed into time. Because you never heard about acceleration. That's why it's for speed into time. So here displacement. Instead of distance, displacement. So we replace speed with velocity. No. Average velocity. Average velocity into time. If you forget this formula, recall grade 6. Recall grade 6. In grade 6, you had learned distance equal to speed into time. It's just the same way. Instead of speed, you have taken v bar, and instead of time is t. Instead of displacement, you have taken s. So s is equal to v bar into t, right? Okay, so far, Sanvi madam, no issues? Okay, let's go ahead. One more step. So can we write displacement s is equal to, and we first put the average velocity's value, u plus v by 2 into t. Anyone who has not understood? Time is t, average velocity is u plus v by 2. Understanding? Right? Very good. Okay, now next memory that you should keep here. In this equation, you have to eliminate v. So Zoe, in this equation, v will not be present. V will be eliminated. So you have to eliminate v now. Now, how do we eliminate v from here? Now we have to eliminate v. Okay, we take the first equation. What was the first equation? V is equal to u plus at. Agreed? Now substitute this value of v in this particular equation. Tough mathematics. I'm upfront saying it is tough mathematics. You have to substitute this value out here. Okay, so let's substitute. And don't take your eyes away. We will do it once again. First time you try and understand. Look at the board. S is equal to u plus, instead of v, I am writing u plus at divided by 2 into t. Samajh mein aaya? Very good. Okay. Or S is equal to, okay, v is equal to u plus at. So S is equal to u plus this. Okay, right. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and break up this. What do we get? We get 2u plus at divided by 2 into t. Correct? U plus u is 2u. At. Right? Let's go a little bit more further. Now we multiply the t. 2ut plus at square divided by 2. Agreed? No issues? I've just multiplied the t. Now I separate the fractions. 2ut by 2 plus at square by 2. Agreed? I've just separated the fractions. If I separate the fraction, I can take these two out. And this gives me my second equation of motion, which is equal to ut. Instead of at square, I write half at square. पहले just देखो, हम दोबारा करेंगे. We will do again. Don't be in the hurry to write and copy from the board. Sir is not going to wipe off anything. I want you to get it into your skin and blood. Have you understood the process or not? Look at the process once again. What did I start with? I started with average velocity, which is u plus v by 2. We know that. Then I brought a grade 6 formula, distance equal to speed into time. I just made it displacement equal to average velocity into time. So I wrote displacement as s, the average velocity, the way average velocity was expressed, and time is t. Got it? In the next step, I have to remember these two things. We have to remember. Okay. You have to remember this thing and you have to remember this thing. Okay. In the next step, what I did, my job is to eliminate v. So I bring in the first equation of motion where v is expressed as u plus at. So for the u, I write u. Then for this particular v, I write the formula of v. Sorry, the formula of v, which is v is equal to, for this v, I write this formula u plus at. And the t is written the way it is, the 2 is written the way it is, the u is written the way it is. Then I add up the two u's, it becomes 2u and at divided by 2. After that is simple simplification. This becomes 2ut, the t is multiplied, monomial into binomial, and it becomes at square. Then I separate the fragment, I separate it here, I break it here. So it becomes ut by 2, at square by 2. Okay? If you now want to copy, please copy. And 1 minute before you copy, one more interesting thing, just one more interesting thing. Shreyas, tell me, class 6 mein kya padha tha? Class 6 mein what did you study? Distance is equal to speed into
Speed into time.
right? In class 6, this speed was always constant in all the problems. You never heard about acceleration. That means in grade 6, acceleration was 0. Just put that thought process in this formula. Distance equal to speed into time, and in class 6, acceleration was 0. So this entire part becomes 0. वही तो formula आ गया. मजा आया कि नहीं बोलो? It's just the same formula that you get back. But since you are grown up now, you have the concept of acceleration. So we will use the concept of acceleration. Okay? So let me clean this up again. And it's for your children to copy now. And when you copy, don't copy like, blind guys. Copy in a manner in which you are understanding. Sir will wait for you. Our job today is to understand the 3 equations of motion. So Zoe, do you see out here in this equation, v is missing now. We don't have v in this equation.
Yeah.
Right? In the first one, we didn't have displacement. Here we don't have v. Sorry. Aram se you copy down. I'll wait for you. Don't worry. Yo. All of you understood? Okay. वानिया मैम समझ में आया कि नहीं? हाँ. No zabardasti, huh? You have to understand and then only understand. Otherwise, you will forget it. Halfway forget ho jayega ye. Aparna, clear? Shaurya man?
Yeah.
Third one will be little bit clumsy simplification. So first is the easiest, third is the toughest. B is the mediocre one, which you are doing right now. Okay. And hence on, in your tuition copy, as you are in class today, whenever you are turning into a new page, just as an aid to memory, whenever you start your fresh page, just write the two equations. Means, what are the two equations we have written so far? We have learned so far. V equal to U plus AT. Likhte jao ye. Whenever you turn a new page, write these two. S equal to UT plus half AT square. So that it gets into your memory. It has to get inside your blood. There's no other way. So whenever you turn a new page, just write this. Keep writing it for 3-4 times. Then afterwards, your mom will say, you need some sandwich. V equal to U plus AT. You'll also say like that. That will be understood, that you have understood it. Right, chalo. Shall we move to the third equation of motion now? Okay. So let's move to the third equation. 1 gone, 2 gone, 3. Okay, let's go to the third equation of motion. The third equation of motion. So the third equation of motion will be actually starting from the second equation of motion. S equal to UT plus half AT square. Our job here will be, the memory here is eliminate T. T has to be eliminated. No T is to be seen. Rest all are eligible except T. T is not to be. T is to be thrown out in this equation. Right. So what we do, we have to now bring T in form of some equation. Let's first see what was our first equation. Anybody who will tell me the first equation? Anyone? First equation.
V equals to U plus AT.
V equal to U plus AT. Okay, sir. Can we write AT is equal to V minus U? Can we write this? All right. Can we write T is equal to V minus U by A? How many of you understood? How many did not understand? If anyone has not understand, don't worry. I have just written T into, because I have to get rid of T, right? Now what I do, simplicity, what I do, I can mark this as equation A and let me mark this as equation B. And I write a sentence which is substituting, right? Substituting the value of T. Whoever has missed today's class is a big mess. Value of T from B in A. So in A, no more T will appear now. So first time you observe me how I'm doing, I'll give you time, don't worry. S is equal to U into V minus U by A. There will be a huge chance of making simplification mistakes in this derivation. Half A V minus U by A whole square. How many of you have understood? How many of you have not understood this step? The T has been taken out. The T has been taken out. And okay, just for your simplicity, children, this whole item is T. This whole item is T. Do you understand or not? Okay, Aparna, getting it? Right? Sreyash, fine? Right, chalo. So now what we do? We have to only go for simplification. Let's go with our simplification. U into V gives me UV minus U square divided by A plus. What happens here? Here I have got a 2 which multiplies with the square of A in the denominator. So it is 2A square. However, since I have a A here, I retain my A and I write A square minus twice AB plus B square. How many of you understood this? V minus U whole square. Can I write? Okay, I'm just writing something. Can I write this fellow as like this? V minus U whole square divided by A square. I can write it like this, right? This A square has come here and this thing has been expanded as A square, that is V square, minus 2UV plus U square. And this A is the A out here. Sir, where did the 2 go? The 2 has come inside here. Clear? Zoe? No worries? Neha, no worries?
Sir, I didn't
Yes, sir.
understand.
Okay, no problem at all. That's
So
what I.
in the denominator,
Don't worry. You have the right to ask. I am so happy. I'll wipe off everything now. Okay. Okay. I'll write something like this. S is equal to, okay, bear with me and my artificial intelligence of my system. S is equal to UT plus half A T square. T square. Are you fine with this? My job is to take out the green T's. And what does how have I expressed the green T as green T? V minus U by A. So wherever you see a green T, you will plug V minus U by A. Ready? Chalo. Let's plug that. So I'll use colors now. S is equal to U into V minus U by A plus half A V minus U by A whole square. Let me put the square in white color so that Sanvi is fully understood. Okay. The T's have been replaced. Is Sanvi fine now? Okay. From now we do some baby steps. Can I write S equal to, I start multiplying this U with the bracket. Okay. Chalo, Sanvi, ready. U multiplies with V gives me a UV. U multiplies with U gives me a U square and a A at the denominator. Happy? Okay, very good. 1 multiplied by A is A by 2, I make it V minus U whole square divided by A square. Am I allowed to do this? You're happy or not? We are allowed to do this? Okay, chalo. If I am allowed to do this, am I allowed to do this also? Okay, chalte. So it becomes S is equal to UV minus U square divided by A plus, I now expand this bracket as A square minus 2AB plus B square divided by 2 and A multiplies together is 2A. Clear? Okay. Now a little bit of more understanding. If you have 2 and 4, what is the LCM? 2 and 4, what is the LCM? 4. The higher multiple is the LCM. If you have A and 2A, what will be the LCM?
2A.
2A will be the LCM, right? Okay. So based on the same concept, kya hua Pratiji? Why are you late today? Slept off. Well, you will not understand. Anyways, you have to follow the video. We can't help it now. So the LCM is 2A. If the LCM is 2A, this part remains unchanged because it belongs to the LCM family. There is no change here. But the other part gets a change. Now, what is that change? How do we do it? 2A, 2A, 2A. Where is 2A coming from, children? 2A is coming from here. This will be divided by this A. A. How much do you get? You get 2. And with this 2, you will be multiplying this particular bracket. That's how we do fractions. LCM divided by the denominator, and that denominator value multiplies the top numerator. Okay. Welcome to class 9. So 2A divided by A is how much? 2. 2A divided by A. 2A divided by A is how much? 2, right? 2. So 2 is what we get as our factor, and 2 will multiply UV minus U square. Okay? Who did not understand here? This is simple. समझ में आया कि नहीं?
Sir, I didn't understand.
Why have you not understood? 5 divided by 2 plus 7 divided by 4. How do you do it? What is the LCM?
It will be 4.
4. Is there any need to change 7? No, we don't change 7.
No.
Because 7 comes with the LCM. How do you change 5? 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 multiplied by 5. Don't you do this thing? यही तो करते हो. यहाँ भी तो वही कर रहा हूँ ना. What am I doing here? LCM is 2A. divide LCM by this denominator. What is the value? 2.
2.
And I'm using 2 and multiplying this numerator.
Okay.
ठीक है ना? Okay. टफ है. Class 9 इतना आसान नहीं है जितना आप सोचते हैं. Right? चलो. Let's go ahead now and proceed further. Today's class was a significant class. Again, I'm saying. So S becomes equals to 2uv minus 2u square plus v square minus 2uv plus u square divided by 2a. ठीक है? Just bracket खोल दिया और कुछ नहीं. This fellow and this fellow can cancel each other. Agreed? Okay. Proceeding further, what do I have? I have S is equal to, look at these two fellows, like terms. So if I combine these two, what do I get? I get a minus u square. Agreed or not? And I'm left with 1v square divided by 2a. Cross multiply everything. 2as is equal to v square minus u square. I have just flipped. Instead of writing what I've done, I have brought u square here and I have brought v square here. I've just flipped it. Doesn't make any difference. And this gives you your third equation of motion, which is v square is equal to u square plus 2as. In this equation, we have abolished t. And this is the toughest derivation actually at your level out of the 3. We'll do it once again. Don't worry. ऐसा कोई टेंशन नहीं है. पहले एक बार देखते हैं, उसके बाद करेंगे. हाँ? Let's see once. We'll do together once again. I take the second equation of motion and my job is to eliminate t. I have to eliminate t. T निकालना है. So I first bring the first equation of motion and I try to express how can you express t in terms of the other fellows. So t is equal to v minus u by a. Once I have got that, I try to put this value of t in this equation, which means all the green t will be now replaced by this value of v minus u by a. So that's what I've done. U instead of t, it is this. Instead of t, it is this. Then I just do some simple algebra. U into v is uv. U into u is u square. Then a by 2, a becomes a square. A cancels off a square, v minus u. Expand this bracket in terms of a minus b whole square. A minus b whole square plus 7. A square minus 2ab plus b square. So I've expanded the bracket. This is the bracket expanded. And 2 multiplies with a, it's 2a. A. Then what do? I compare the two denominators and I find that the LCM is 2a and the multiplying factor will be 2. How does the multiplying factor 2? 2a divided by a. Where did the a come from? Sir, a came from here. And then I get the value of 2 and with this 2, I multiply this numerator. That's what I'm doing here. 2 into uv minus u square. Then I just open up the bracket. You try to do this. आज tuition के बाद एक बार खुद करने की कोशिश करो. It will be very easy. Then 2 uv's and 2 uv's cancel. 2u square and u square. That gives you u square plus v square 2a. Rearrange everything. It comes v square equal to u square plus 2as. That's it. So we have come to a new page. And I told you, as soon as you come to a new page, again write the equations of motion. V equal to u plus at. Second equation was s equal to ut plus half at square. And third equation of motion is v square equal to u square plus 2as. You cannot afford to forget this. This should be by heart. By heart. And as we started our class today, 1 minute, beta, 1 minute. As we started our class today, we also came up with one formula of average velocity. What is average velocity equal to? Sir, average velocity is equal to
Initial velocity
plus final divided by 2. So I can take this formula as formula 0. Then take formula -1 in previous classes, whatever you have learned. A is equal to v minus A is equal to v minus u by t. Formula -2 is average speed. Average speed is total distance traveled by total time taken, TTT. Did we learn any other formula in this chapter? No, we didn't learn any other. That's it.
Please
The
go to the top.
entire numeric, 1 minute, Zoe, entire numericals will be on this. Yeah, Zoe, go ahead, please.
Can you just go to the top of this?
Yeah, I'll
second
scroll to
version?
the top. So these are yours -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. 6 formulas, which should be here. Yeah. Where should I stop, Zoe? You tell me, here or a little bit more on top?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. Okay. Tell me when I need to scroll down, I'll do that. And don't just copy, understand and copy, understand and copy. If luck is bad, then this one may also come for derivation. This is actually the toughest one. The middle one usually comes. Deduce the second equation of motion. Once I saw in Phoenix Green or some school, they gave this third one.
Sir, if like second equation comes,
Ah.
it will come for lesser marks than third equation, if third equation
No, not
comes.
like that. These come, see, the problem and good part of CBSE is that you have only 22 marks for physics in your final exam, for which there are 5 chapters. So, but in the unit test and all, you will be having some 11 marks or 6 marks for physics. 6 marks में अगर मैम यही दे देगी 5 का, फिर बाकी क्या question देगी? But that one way is bad also, because in ICSC, the physics paper is of 80 marks. You will be appearing only 22 marks physics. In Cambridge, the physics will be of 150 marks. And all those students will be your competitors after class 10. So there is the challenge. However, when you go to 11 from CBSE, your life will be made ruthless. You will have a 80 mark, 100 mark paper on physics, which you never had in your life so far. So try and do as many numericals as possible. That helps you, whether CBSE is testing you or not. End of the day, wherever you want to study, you have to, if you want to retain physics in 11, 12, then your problem solving ability is required. And many children then tell, no, sir, no worries. Ma'am will give some step marking. According to me, that is beggarly approach. If we are given a problem, we should either solve the problem or we should not solve it. What is step marking? Step marking means bhik mange ki tarah. Ma'am, please give one. Ma'am, I wrote. Ma'am, give one. How many of you have done little bit of what do you call Heronic and realic problems?
I finished the Heron formula worksheet.
Very good.
I have done Haris Agarwal se sare Heron formula ke questions.
Good. This one also I'll give a worksheet. This will have you lots of problems. The more and more you do, the more your knowledge gets better and better in this chapter. And now all
Can
we
you scroll down?
yeah, sure.
I'll do real numbers tomorrow.
Sir, I had a doubt here.
Hmm.
जब आपने cancellation किया है, वो वाला S is equal to 2UV.
हाँ, ये वाला स्टेप की बात कर रहे हो ना, ये स्टेप की बात कर
मैंने किया है.
हाँ.
So, we can't cancel U square and U square.
ये 1 U square है ना बेटा, देखो इसके कोफिशिएंट 1 है, 1 U square, ये 2 U square, कैसे कैंसिल करोगे? 1 शोरिया 2 शोरिया कैंसिल होता है क्या?
नहीं.
It is like this, see, 1 शोरिया प्लस -2 शोरिया, आंसर क्या हो गया? नेगेटिव शोरिया आएगा ना. हाँ, 1 शोरिया कैंसिल हो जाता है, उसमें कोई टेंशन नहीं है. ठीक है?
Yeah.
Once you all are done copying these three, let me know. ठीक है? Scroll करो थोड़ा थोड़ा ऊपर, धीरे धीरे, slowly. Also write this part also. Please write this part also. This is also handy. The more you write, the more you learn. क्या प्रतीक जी ग्रीक लैटिन हो रहा है आज? Everything is coming Greek, Latin and Hebrew now. What will you do? Half the picture में थिएटर में घुसे हो, अभी पूछना पड़ेगा क्या हुआ? अच्छा वो उसकी माँ है क्या? लड़ाई हो गई? क्या करोगे? थिएटर लेट घुसने से यही होता है, रंगारंग कार्यक्रम मिस कर गए हो आप. चलिए, can I go ahead little bit? All of you done? Zoe done? You seem to be writing. Okay, fine. Now when you solve problems, when you solve numerical, you need to remember, or you need to apply your head on some of the concepts based on language versus interpretation. Okay, let's see. What is the language? First language. A body starts from rest. Interpretation, u is equal to 0. No initial velocity. A body starts from rest. Interpretation is what? U equal to 0. Okay. A boy studies whole day. Interpretation is what? Oh, he's a bookworm. It's just like that. Okay. Next one is a body comes to rest.
Final velocity is
Yes, v is equal to 0. Very good. 3. A body retards. Interpretation is a will be negative. A will be negative and velocity will be falling. Retards means like when you start applying brakes, you are retarding. Okay. 4. A body decelerates. Accelerates, uska opposite, decelerates. Same. A is negative. Number 5. A body has a retardation of 2 meter per second square. Interpretation is A equal to negative 2 meter per second square. And when they tell you acceleration, you will be taking the positive one. Let's write that also. Okay. That's just like a star I'm putting. A body accelerates at 3 meter per second square. So you write A is equal to 3 meter per second square. And the last one, which color should I use? Which I have not used. Yellow, dirty fellow. Let's use dirty fellow. Okay. Uniform. If a body is with uniform velocity means only one means the word one velocity. Therefore, A will be equal to 0 as U will be equal to V and V minus U is equal to 0. Therefore, A is also 0. Uniform velocity means this. Let me draw some arrows. Otherwise, our children will get confused. Ting, 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 ting. लास्ट वाला समझ में आया ना? यूनिफॉर्म वेलोसिटी. Shreyas's performance has been uniform. Means if he has been doing good, he's doing good. Neither his marks have increased nor they have come down. So it is not a worry for us. But if he was not doing good last term and we say he's doing uniform, then Mr. Rajiv Rastogi, big reason to worry. That means he's not improved even in this term. Got it? Uniform means there is no change. So if that be the case, we are ready to cook biryani now. Everything done. Chopping vegetables, marination all over. Soaking rice, right? शेष आजकल तुम कुछ ढोकला वोकला ये सब खाते नहीं हो, मजा नहीं आ रहा है मुझे. Sanvi understood all this language versus interpretation. Okay, you have to keep this in memory when you are doing problems. All the problems will have some twisted language. Chalo, let's start. Okay, before we start problems, what do you need to do? How you solve problems in this chapter? Can I go ahead? Right. Okay. The next thing is how to solve problems. How to solve problems. The first thing is read. Read means read. God has given you 2 eyes. Read the question. Then break it into a story. I know you'll not do all this. Then you should do what? Number 2, write the given data. Given data. After that, what you should do, write what are you trying to find? What is your quest to find? Now, based on these two, decide the equation. Decide the equation. And what are your choices? V equal to U plus AT, S equal to UT plus half AT square. And the third is V square equal to U square plus 2AS. Out of these 3, which equation will be applicable for you? Either all the 3 equations may be applicable for you, or 2 equations, or 1. But since you all are kiddos, right now only 1 equation will be applicable for you. Later on, you may find in tougher problems, 2 equations are applicable. So what did I write? Based on given data and to find, right? You will decide what is to be done. And the most important one, number 3, which children don't do, declare answer with its unit. Don't write, if you write V is equal to 2, I'll deduct marks. The way you should write is V equal to 2 meters per second, and then write final velocity. This is example now. Final velocity of the car is 2 meters per second. That's how you should write. Okay? Ready? Chaliye. Let's start with all easy vanilla problems, and then we'll go into our caramel custard problems. Meow. You want to write? You want me to wait for 1 minute? You want to write something? Something like that? All okay? Chalo, okay. You all are a batch which follows that word. Sir, silence is golden. We don't speak. Because if we speak, we are losing energy. We conserve energy for the universe. And this batch used to be the most noisiest batch in grade 7. Do you remember? Grade 7, who all were there? Sudriti was there, Shaurya was there, and Vivan. You were also there, na? Shreyas was also there. Shreyas joined in grade 7. Yeah.
Dikshan was also there.
Dikshan was also there, yes.
But sir, we were not that
Amulya
noisy.
was also there. I think, yeah. Amulya joined towards the end.
Amulya joined towards the end. It was a very noisy batch. I mean, every time.
ऋषभ को क्या हुआ सर?
किसको?
ऋषभ is not joining.
Rishabh has actually, what he has done, he has appeared for FITG's entrance test in Noida, and he has topped that entire region. His life is now FITG. He has joined FITG, and as a result, what happens is that he has joined FITG daily classes, means Every day after coming from school, he goes to Fiji at 4 and comes home at the class is over at 8:30. And Saturday, Sunday, whole day classes from 8:30 in the morning to 8:30 at evening.
That's
And
correct.
our friend Amulya has now joined weekend Fiji classes. So Rishabh has forgotten how the daylight looks like now.
That is torture.
Huh?
Why?
Okay, so let's go to the next one. A problem. So our problem is, I'm writing the question first time. A scooter acquires a velocity of 36 kilometers per hour in 10 seconds. Okay, I forgot to mention one more most important thing out here. Units should always be in SI. This is very, very important. Exactly in this problem, they're doing that issue with you first. So 36 kilometers per hour in 10 seconds, just after start. Okay. Calculate acceleration of the scooter. Note down the question first, and then we will understand. Just note down the question first. Okay. Right. So we have a scooter. Observe, read the question very carefully. Okay. We have a scooter, and the scooter acquires a velocity of so and so in 10 seconds just after start. This is a big, just after start. Means something.
Immediately.
Mhm.
Initial velocity.
After a scooter started in 10 seconds, reached 36 kilometers per hour.
Just after start. Somebody told that. Who told initial velocity is 0? Somebody told, yeah. Sanvi told it. Very good. Barikiyan, that Amitabh Bachchan movie, Pink
That
Check.
was not me.
Who told? Somebody told initial velocity is 0.
Me.
I heard that.
I did.
Who said?
Me, sir.
Okay, Aparna said. Very good. Whoever said it, it's lovely observation. So you need to read between the lines. It says right at start. Okay, so we need to observe this word start. Just after start means just after start. So just after start means from rest, right? So let's mark it here. Now, see why I say bring the problems into story. The scooter starts from here, and I'll say that at this stage, the U is equal to 0. Okay, and travels 10 seconds. Okay, after that, what has happened? Our same fellow has actually reached somewhere here. Okay, you may not be able to do that. I've got a software, so I'm doing that's good, but try and understand. So from here to here, what is the time elapsed? The time elapsed is 10 seconds. This much time is 10 seconds. T is equal to 10 seconds. And they said that it has acquired a velocity of 36 kilometers per hour. That means its V is equal to 36 kilometers per hour. The units are still not pairing. They are not at par with each other because the units are not in SI system. So we need to convert the units. They have asked you, what is the acceleration of the scooter? So you know that acceleration as a formula is what? V minus U by T. You will say, sir, you are not applying equation of motion. Okay, apply equation of motion. V is equal to U plus AT. You know that U is 0. You know the value of V. You have to find out the value of A. From this, you get this equation only. Right? Now we need to write this problem. How will we write? Let's write. Given initial velocity initial velocity u, mention the word u, is equal to 0 meters per second. You can write starts from rest. Starts from rest. Final velocity v is equal to 36 kilometers per hour. How do you convert it? 36 into 5 by 18. That's why they have given you 36. 18 2 times is 36, which means 10 meters per second. Did you understand that 5 by 18? That was our converting factor for converting kilometers per hour to meters per second. Then time t is equal to 10 seconds. Now write to find what? Acceleration. Acceleration A is unknown. Now you need not do this, but I'm saying you in your memory, this is your memory, okay? In your memory, what you are doing, you have these equations. V equal to U plus AT, this is your one equation. S equal to UT plus half AT square, and V square is equal to U square plus 2AS. Likha karo if you write. Now you try to look at this given data. You try to look what is to be found, what has been asked to be found out, and what are the equations in your hand. And you select which equation you should select. I think we should be good enough with the first equation itself. We know V, we know that U is 0, we know what is the value of T, we don't know A, but one equation, one unknown. Did you understand the logic? If say suppose Sanvi says, sir, why can't I take the second equation? Then I'll ask Sanvi, do you know the value of S? You don't know. Okay, sir, then let us take the third equation. Still the same problem. You don't know what is S. So we can't take it. Okay? So what do? We start writing V is equal to U plus AT. You can write this now because you have already defined what is V. Where did you define what is V? You have defined here what is V, what is U, what is T, what is A. You have defined everything. So V is equal to U plus AT. And now you substitute. Instead of V, you write 10. Instead of U, you write 0. Instead of A, that is what is to be found out. And this is 10. Okay, answer aa gaya. Or A is equal to 10 upon 10, which is 1 meter per second square. And write the answer. Answer, acceleration is equal to 1 meter per second square. So acceleration is 1 meter per second. And you will say, no, sir, I did not understand. Can you give me the proof of what you tried to do? You take the proof. What is the issue? Break it up into 10 seconds. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th. This is the 10 second. Started with what? 0 meters per second. At the first second, what should be your speed? You're accelerating at 1 meter. A is equal to 1 meter per second square. So at the first second, your speed will be 1. At the second, 2, third, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So at the 10 second, you are 10 meter per second is your velocity. And this when converted to kilometer per hour is 36 kilometer per hour. Matched. Problem is correct. ठीक है